importance of knowledge, there are various hadiths mentioned, but the beginning of this hadith is from the narrator of this hadith, the great companion, Katibul Wahi, Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. An Muawiyata radiyallahu anhu, qala qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In some hadith, in some version, they say Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he gave this, or while he was giving khutbah, he mentioned this hadith. But here the khutbah is not mentioned. Alam man yuridillahu bi khairan yufaqihu fi Deen. Rawahu Bukhari wa Muslim. Imam Bukhari mentioned this in Kitabul Ilm and also in Babul I'tisam. Imam Muslim al-Imara and Kitabul Zakat and Ibn Majah in Muqaddimah. Means the Sihai Sitta, many muhaddiseen from Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, they mentioned this hadith. So the hadith is very short. Here one part is mentioned, and this is may yuridillahu bihi khairan yufaqihu fi Deen. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intend to do good for a person, He grant him understanding of religion. Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala, who is the narrator of this hadith, he is depart from this world in age of 78, and he said, according to historian, he accepted Islam not after Fathul Makkah, as many historians mentioned. He accepted Islam after Sulh Hudaybiyah in 6th Hijri, but he is not announced it. He announced his Islam after Fathul Makkah, and he was known as a Katibul Wahi. He was one of those few people who can read and write in Makkah. So after accepting Islam, he was given this title of Katibul Wahi. The routine of the Prophet ﷺ, when the revelation come, he used to invite someone who not read or write to write it somewhere. But the most dependent on this time even was the memory of the Prophet ﷺ and teaching the Sahaba. Bear in your mind, I mentioned last night that this Quran has Tartib al-Nuzuli and Tartib al-Mushafi. Tartib al-Nuzuli, when it was revealed, and it was revealed based on different events. And then the Prophet ﷺ, straight after revelation, he used to tell Sahaba Kiram that put this surah before this or after this. That's why you will find in some tafsir books Tartib al-Nuzuli and Tartib al-Mushafi, that this surah is in Revelation, let's say his number is 15, but in Tartib of the Quran might be 40. Look at Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi, the first verse, but it is all the way down in 30th Separa. And so the Surah Baqarah is a Madani surah, but it is started in the beginning. So the Prophet ﷺ lived in Makkah al-Mukarramah 13 years when the Quran was, the revelation occurs. So after 13 years, the Madani surah is Baqarah, but it is from the beginning after Surah Fatiha. So bear in your mind, and it is recorded even by the Muhaddishin and the Mufassirin did a great job. They recorded which surahs are Makki and which surahs are Makki. First of all, they made this job, that these surahs revealed in Makkah and these are revealed in Medina. And when they called it Makki and Madani, even the terminology is also again different. But the most popular understanding of Makki and Madani, any surah or verse revealed in 13 years period when the Prophet ﷺ living in Makkah before migration, it is called Makki. And after 13 years, any surah or verse revealed in after migration is called Madani. That's why the last surah, the last verse, وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ, is revealed in Makkah. How you can say revealed in Makkah? The Prophet ﷺ went for Hajj. When he went for Hajj, so in Arafat this surah revealed. But this last verse, which is very few days before the depart of the Prophet ﷺ, revealed in Makkah, is not called Makki verse. Why? Because it is revealed after migration. So that's why the criteria to call it Makki and Madani, any surah or verse revealed before migration is called Makki, or after migration is called Madani. There are some other interpretation, but this is the most popular and easy to understand. Number one. So these are related to the Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ used to tell the Sahaba that this is the surah, and the Sahaba used to learn it accordingly. So then they learn it, and they were the great reciter of Quran. They used to read and recite Quran day and night. So that's why they used to fix accordingly and learn it. But still the Prophet ﷺ did ihtimam to write it. So on the few writers, those who know how to read and write, he used to call them and they write it. And after all these writing, which is done in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, has been tallied with the memory of the hundreds and hundreds, but thousands and thousands Sahaba Kiram, that what is written on the time of the Prophet ﷺ by different people on different things, and what memorized by thousands and thousands Sahaba, after telling all these things, they compiled it. And Hazrat Zayd bin Sabit and some other Sahaba, it is happened in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Why I'm telling you this, bear in your mind, sometimes the people get you confused that this Quran is compiled after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so there is a sign of mistake. But this is completely ignorant. The Sahaba, thousands and thousands Sahaba, before all this, they were Hafiz of the Quran, they used to regularly read. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before departing from this world, he recited this Quran with Jibreel, and Jibreel recited to him, so they did Dawr as well. So one of the Katib Sahabi, all these come with the Kitabat of the Sahabi. So one of those who were writing, Hazrat Amir Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala, he was governor of Jordan and Syria right from the time of Hazrat Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala. So he remained governor for 20 years. And after governor, in the time of Ali al-Murtaza, there was some dispute about the Shahada of Sayyidina Usman bin Affan radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. When Usman bin Affan radiyallahu ta'ala is a Khalifa martyred, so you know this was a great thing that the Khalifatul Muslimin, he martyred in Madinatul Munawwara, in capital, in his house, by some people. So Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, when he became Khalifatul Muslimin afterwards, so he was dealing with the matter. The fitna was very big. So the Amir Muawiyah was governor on those days of Syria. So he was the relative of Usman Ghani radiyallahu anhu, because he is from Banu Umayyah, and Usman ibn Affan also from Banu Umayyah. So he demanded that the revenge of Hazrat Usman should be taken. This should be given the priority, because the Khalifatul Muslimin, if we let these people, they can do any day, any Khalifa, and this case will start. So these people, those who did such a great job in the capital, they should be punished first. But Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said that the matter is there was so much chaos that just if we deal this first and don't set out the other issues, the fitra will not finish. So they all were agreed that the revenge of Hazrat Usman Ghani should be taken. No one was denying. Those who did this job, they should be punished. But the only issue was the priority, that whether it should be dealt as a first issue or the other issue should be dealt. So when everything calmed down, then these people should be brought to justice. So this was the ikhtilaf between Hazrat Amir Muawiyah and Ali al-Murtaza radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. But it is extended, unfortunately, and went on. And normally when we go to these details, so 20 years he was, then afterward he was still Khalifa, he was governor there. But after Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, when Hazrat Imam Hassan, the son of Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, he became Khalifa for 6 months. After 6 months, you can say he resigned. When he resigned, then Hazrat Amir Muawiyah for 20 years regularly was ruling Islamic world. For how many years? For 20 years he was ruling Islamic world. And these 20 years, there were so many issues. But one thing bear in your mind, don't go for the Mushajaratu Sahaba. Mushajaratu Sahaba means the issue and the dispute which occurred between Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullah Ta'ala Majmain, because they were very close to the Prophet. For like Hazrat Amir Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, though he was from Banu Umayyah, but his sister Habiba was the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His sister Habiba, she was the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they have many other close relation with each other. You know, like living in one area, so they have understanding, they have close relation, and they have their issues. It is when these high-level elite class people have their dispute, but the dispute come based on not any fitna and fasad, just because of the understanding on the priority. So if you carry on discussing, the more you discuss, the more you get confused. The great ulama always says, the mushajaratu sahaba, we have to live to Allah. We are not the judge of the Sahaba Kiram. Even if we start now even discussing the mushajaratu sahaba day and night, nothing we're going to take out of it. So we leave their matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what the decision will be made on Day of Judgment. Because their heart was pure, we know this. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ امْتَحَنَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُمْ لِلتَّقْوَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose their heart for taqwa. So whatever has happened as a human being, we still believe that is free from mistake and al-ma'asum only Anbiya and Prophets. And this is our aqidah. Apart from Prophet, we don't have aqidah of ma'asum for anyone. So that's why all these things we leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all the good they have done we take it as a guidance, and all these misunderstandings we don't go in it. So that's why when Sayyidina Amir, some people even now when I see even this social media fitna, all these basic issues with a very wrong interpretation, with a very wrong misunderstanding, they bring it and make the people judge. You decide who is right, you decide who is wrong. These are the people that they were such a great status. Let Hazrat Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala, for 20 years he was ruling the whole Islamic world. And for 20 years he was the governor right from Umar bin Khattab time. So 40 years serving Islam. And you just on the some mushajaratul sahaba, if you start doing this. So these things always create more fitna inside. And his love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahu Akbar. The historian says that when he was departing from this world, Imam Mullah Ali Qari Rahmatullahi Ta'ala mentioned this, that he says this is the qamis of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the izar of the Prophet, and he has some mu'e mubarak and some nails of the Prophet, and he said, cover me in this sheet and put on my head and my chest the mu'e mubarak, the hair of the Prophet, and the nail of the Prophet, and then leave me between me and Allah. So whatever he decided. You can imagine, in this last hour, his love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is the hadith from Amir Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. مَنْ يُرِيدِ اللَّهُ بِهِ خَيْرًا يُفَقِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends to do good for a person, He grant him understanding of Deen. Tafaqquh fi Deen. What is tafaqquh fi Deen? Al-fiqh means fahm, understanding. And that's why Hazrat Musa alayhi salam in Surah Taha, verse number 28, he said, when he started before, Rabbi shrah li sadri, oh Allah, open my heart, wa yassir li amri, make my matter easy, wahlul uqdatam min lisani, and untie my tongue, yafqahu qawli, so these people understand what I'm saying. They understand my speech. So al-fiqh actually means to al-fahm, to understand. But here the ulama says, from this fahm, summa khussa bihi ilmu sharia, وَالْعَالِمُ يُسَمَّى بِي فَقِيهًا. Umdatul Qari, Sahib Umdatul Qari says, then it was taken from this literal linguistic understanding, يُسَمَّى بِهِ عِلْمُ الشَّرِيعَةِ, the one who have the knowledge of ilmu sharia, and the one who know it, he called alim. So now fiqh means the understanding of Deen, according to this hadith, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him understanding of Deen. And Hazrat Ali Karamallah ta'ala Wajhul Karim mentioned that what is fiqh actually, in this special terminology, fiqh of Deen, and this is the one of the beautiful. Imam Mujahid mentioned before, Man yakhafullah. The faqih is the one who have a fear of Allah in his heart. But Hazrat Ali definition is most perfect, beautiful. And he said, who is the alim and faqih? The one who have understanding of Deen. He said, Mallam yuqannitin nasa min rahmatillah. The one who don't make the people hopeless from what? From the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, walam yu'minhum min makrillah. But at the same time, not make him completely safe from the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Araf says, that one is making, means by be safe from the plan of Allah. Afa aminu makrallah, fala ya'munu makrallah illa al-qawm al-khasirun. Feel safe means Allah is great, Allah is Rahim, do what you want, commit a sin, daytime sin, nighttime sin, ignorant, everything. When someone asks you, Allah is Rahim, Allah is Kareem, Allah is Ghaffar, Allah is Sattar. So this is saying that someone just give you always these false hopes and just make you more sinner. So in one hand, they are always not make you hopeless from the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Whenever you do something by mistake because of your nafs and shaitan, still you thinking, because I committed a sin, so I done something wrong, so no way of forgiveness, and you carry on. He said, no. Lam yuqannitin nas, but at the same time, lam yu'minhum min makrillah. But you should not make you what? Safe from the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Makar we translate plan, these are the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third thing say, وَلَمْ يُرَخِّصْ لَهُمْ فِي مَعَاصِ اللَّهِ, and he is not giving concession by committing sin to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَمْ يَدْعِ الْقُرْآنَ رَغْبَةً إِلَىٰ غَيْرِهِ, and he don't leave Quran interested in something else. He says, if someone have these four qualities, he is faqih. He has the real understanding of the deen. But the way this hadith is mentioned, man yuridillahu bihi khayran. Say, when Allah intend, what khayran? The khayran tanween in Arabic, the ulama, the Arabic linguistics says, the khayran tanween is for tankir. When the tanween come on any nakira, on any common word, it has a generality, general meaning. Means qalilan aw kasiran, everything is included. And then tankir or tanween also li ta'zim. Means when Allah intend to be the khair with someone, khair means the great khair. And that's why some translated with khair, tanweenu lit-tankiri wa ta'zimi yadullu ala al-umum. Imam Manawi rahmatullah alayhi says, then you can translate this, man yuridillahu bihi khairan, when Allah intend with someone, but jami' al-khairat, all the goods, khairan kabiran, great in value, khairan aziman, great and kasiran, and great in number, great in value, kabiran, aziman, kathiran. All these meanings depend on this one tanween, the two pesh which you called it, because these tanween in Arabic has tanween umum and also tankir. And the other thing say, this is the sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you, who granted you the understanding of deen. Because tafaqquh fi deen, he said, kullama zada fiqhan zada rahmatu wa rafa. The more you have understanding of deen, the more mercy and the more kindness will come to you. Understanding all these things, the final and last thing in this tafaqquh, he said, khalaqna li'ibadati. Allah created us for what? For ibadah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And after, وَأُمِرْنَا بِهَا, and he commanded, Ya ayyuhan nasu u'budu rabbakum. O people, I have created you for worship and for my ibadah, so do ibadah. But this imtisalu amrillahi ta'ala la yumkin illa bit-tafaqquh. But how to be the obedient servant of Allah and worship Him, you won't get it unless without understanding the deen. So you see, the purpose of your creation is directly linked to the tafaqquh of deen. And if you don't have this right tafaqquh of deen, then you will be confused like nowadays we are confused. Tafaqquh of deen is the right understanding of deen. And those who don't have the right understanding, they were gumrah, they are gumrah, and always they will be gumrah, because they don't have tafaqquh of deen. They are playing in the hand of shaitan. So when Allah intend the good with someone, He give him the right understanding of what? Of Quran and Sunnah. And those who don't have the right understanding, they are killing each other. They are cursing each other. They are doing fatwas against each other. And that's why every single day one blast happened in Pakistan. Last week someone died. Week before someone died. Every single week something is happening. More than 80,000 Muslims killed each other only in the land of Pakistan. And go to Syria, and go to Iraq, and go. What is this? This is the wrong understanding of deen. When you have your own personal interpretation with your own glasses, then this will happen. Then every other person looks like kafir to you, and you are the only one who is the defender of Islam. And then you don't have any tolerance to deal with it. And this not having a tolerance, wrong interpretation, bring more chaos in the society, more killing in the society, more bomb blast in the society, more suicidal attack in the society. And with this very wrong understanding, which we have lost, as mentioned in this hadith, most of the Muslims on the name of Islam are killing one another with thinking that I am becoming Ghazi, or the other who died, he thinks he is becoming Shaheed. In reality, both are fighting, as one hadith of the Prophet says, that sometime two are fighting, they both are in fire. The Sahaba says, Ya Rasulullah, how the both will be fire? He said, because both have wrong interpretation, but only one got control of it. So if it's not the other one would do the same. So the one who's the qatil and the maqtul, they both are in nar, because the interpretation, the understanding, the purpose of both were wrong. So that's why we are going to this fitna time. May Allah give us the good and right understanding. And these things, whenever you don't have a final authorities for these interpretation of Islam and Deen, these kind of things always will happen. May Allah give us tawfiq and bring the days when we have some unified, proper system like before in Azmanatus, in Salaf, then we have the controlled proper system of the understanding and the interpretation of the Quran. And with the differences, they have a great tolerance because they all are interpretation, even the differences was in the frame of the Quran and Sunnah, and they have a great tolerance. May Allah give us tawfiq to understand the same level and follow these great people. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Ya Allah, those who are not feeling well, grant them sihha. Those who departed from this world, Ya Allah, have a mercy upon them. Accept our siyam, our qiyam, our ibadat. Any weaknesses in this month we have, Ya Allah, give us tawfiq to be in the shed of your rahmah and the barakah and blessing, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Bi rahmatika.